The register beeps twice. The screen flashes red. Insufficient funds. Behind you, a man shifts his weight, already annoyed. The cashier's eyes slide past you to him, like you're a delay to get through. Your ears go hot. Your shirt sticks to your back. July, no AC in the car, and now this. You dig for a 5, count out quarters from the cup holder, and the cashier doesn't even blink. She's seen this before. Nobody looks twice at a person with nothing. People think money buys freedom. The strange part isn't what it buys. It's what it quietly takes back. You've got $1,140 in checking. You know the number the way you know your own birthday. Rent is $1,050. You do math in the parking lot before you buy gas. Your dad calls to ask if you want to come by the hardware store, help him restring a weed trimmer, and you say yes because it's free and because he's your dad. He hands you a Gatorade like you're 12. The bank teller, when you deposit your check on Friday, barely looks at the slip before sliding you a receipt. Nobody looks twice. This is what $1,000 buys you. Nothing extra. Just the right to keep standing where you're standing. A year later, you've got $28,000. You cut cable, sold an old bike on Marketplace, made shift lead at work, a lanyard that says supervisor and $2 more an hour. Your landlord, who used to text you flat reminders about rent, starts signing off. Have a good one, sir. You laugh about it with your dad, who's proud in that quiet project hands way he has. He doesn't say much, just nods and hands you a wrench to hold. Still, when you walk into a bank branch, nobody comes out from behind the desk to greet you. You've got money now, technically, but they see the number before they see you. Nobody tells you what the next $50,000 buys. By $85,000, things shift. A bank calls you, unprompted, to ask if you'd like to speak with someone about wealth strategies. Wealth. The word feels like a costume that doesn't fit yet. The realtor who shows you a 3-bedroom in a decent school district shakes your hand twice, once at the door and once at the car, and calls you by your first name both times. Your dad, on the phone that week, mentions almost as an aside that his heart's been doing something funny lately. A flutter? Nothing. Probably nothing, he says. Don't worry about it. You tell him to get it checked. He says he will. You don't follow up. There's a lot going on. Now they call first. At $240,000, you own the house. Coworkers start asking, half joking, half not, what you did with your 401k. Them measuring themselves against you the way you used to measure yourself against everyone else. Your dad has a stent put in. Routine, the doctor says. And you pay the hospital bill before he even sees it. Transfer the money same day. Done. He calls and says, almost annoyed, you didn't have to do that. You say it's nothing. It genuinely is nothing to you now. What you don't clock is the smaller thing that happened that same week. He asked if you could come by Saturday. Look at the porch rail. The same one that's been loose since you were a kid. You said next weekend, then the weekend after that. It wasn't a decision. It was just a call came in, a deadline moved, and Saturday filled itself in without you. Here's the part nobody warns you about. It wasn't that people started treating you better. It was that you started treating your own time like it wasn't yours to give away for free anymore. Somewhere past $600,000, a man named Rob starts calling you from the bank's private client group, using your first name like your old friends. Your dad still wants help with that porch rail. He brings it up gently, almost embarrassed to ask twice. And instead of driving out on a Saturday like you used to, you hire a local handyman and send him over. It gets fixed faster and better than you'd have done it. Your dad thanks you. Something in his voice doesn't quite match the words. You tell yourself it's the same thing. Help is help. It isn't, and some part of you already knows that. Now, everywhere you go, people look, really look. At the truck, the watch, the way you order, and then you cross $1 million, and here's the strange part. Nothing happens. No alarm goes off. You check the account in a parking lot, same as you used to check it for overdrafts, and it just says $1,410. Sitting there quiet, like any other number. Your brain has a strange habit. No matter how much your life improves, it quickly starts calling the new normal. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. What you notice instead is how loud everything around the money has gotten. Your accountant calls monthly. Your advisor sends quarterly reviews with your name in bold at the top. A cousin you haven't spoken to since a wedding 6 years ago texts out of nowhere, "Hey random, but you doing okay financially? Might need to ask a favor." At Thanksgiving, your uncle brings up the market 3 separate times, watching your face for a reaction. You used to be invisible because you had nothing anyone wanted. Now you're watched constantly, because you have something everyone's curious about. This is what $1,000 buys you. Everyone's attention. Just not the kind you were hoping for. Your dad gets sick again that winter. Not the heart this time. Something slower. Something the doctors use careful words about. You do what you can do, which by now is a lot. Private room. Second opinions flown in. A recliner for the hallway so someone can always be there. You tell yourself the money is finally doing what it's supposed to do. But you're in 3 places at once. The hospital, your phone, a deal that can't wait a week. And one afternoon, your dad tries to tell you a story about the hardware store. Some regular customer who used to argue about screws, and you miss half of it because your advisor is calling about a wire transfer. He tells it again, patient, like he doesn't mind. You realize sitting there, that you can buy him the best room in the hospital. You cannot buy back the Saturday you sent a stranger to fix his porch rail. He asks you near the end, not about money. He asks if you remember stringing that weed trimmer together. The two of you. Him handing you a Gatorade like you were still a kid. You do. It's one of the clearest memories you have. He says he liked those afternoons best, not the ones after. You don't say anything. There isn't really anything to say. Months later, you're in a grocery store again. Not the same one. A nicer one. Wide aisles. A cart full of things you don't check the price of. You could use any register you want. You choose self-checkout. You always choose self-checkout now. It's not about the weight. It's that you'd rather scan your own items than stand there while someone tries to place you. The watch, the coat, the way your card doesn't hesitate before it clears. The screen says approved before you've even finished swiping. Nobody looks twice. Except this time, it's not because you have nothing. It's because you've made sure nobody gets close enough to look at all. Every dollar solved a problem, until the only problems left weren't for sale. The account kept growing. The Saturdays disappeared.